choosing between hunger and the front line. The fight for Raqa, the de facto capital of the Islamic State group in Syria, forced this family to flee their home and head to a camp like thousands of others. But they say grim conditions made it impossible to survive there. So they came back to the city and are now squatting in this abandoned home.
We were forced to come into danger. We escaped from death and came here. We're staying here. What can we do? We don't have the money to leave. We went to the camp, but we couldn't live there. We needed to work to pay for things. Here, we're near military positions, and the fighters give us bread, sugar, food, and everything we need.
IS jihadists have controlled Raqa since 2014. Now the Syrian Democratic Forces, an alliance of Kurdish and Arab fighters, are advancing to recapture the northern city. Those civilians who remain have to make do with very little.
Sometimes we go back to our houses. Sometimes we go and sit in the open. Sometimes we're dying of hunger. Sometimes there's no bread. Sometimes there's no flour. Sometimes there's nothing to eat.
Anoud has just moved into her brother's house after her home was destroyed in an airstrike. But this district is hardly any better. It remains heavily mined. Her 11-year-old son Ahmad has fallen mute from the trauma.
He used to stand on the balcony and see people with their hands and legs cut off. It was terrifying. So he stopped talking and we had to treat him. He's better now, thanks to God. But after we came yesterday, and with the clashes and the sounds of shelling today, he stopped talking again.
US-backed forces have captured more than half of the city from IS fighters. As they push forward, facing fierce resistance, more civilians will have to flee their homes and choose between under-resourced camps or life in the firing line.